Hey, welcome to the Aloha Friday Marketing Jam Session. I'm Tom Gaddis. I got my business partner, Nick Ponte, on the call, and our good friend, I was told to say Rob again, Joe Troyer. I did that on the call. I was like,
you keep razzing Rob about the hair, dude. It's not a good place. It's not good.
I like Joe's hair. I like it.
No, but I'm just saying it's not good. You know, you gotta like that's.
When I crack on it, I got a full head.
There's plenty of time.
All my lineage, full head of hair, no balding. Definitely go gray.
Yeah.
Hey, wait. Hair. What are you even doing out here? You're supposed to be in the green room. How did he?
It's okay. I didn't say anything because let's change it up a little. We got a great show today. Joe's our guest. We're going to be talking about some pay-per-click marketing. We're going to be talking about fulfillment. We'll take questions. I don't know how many people on here were on the training that we did. We did two of them. We did one on Wednesday, one on Thursday with Joe and his partner, Rob Warner. How many people were on that? If you're on that training, stick a heck yeah in the group. I see. Wow, it looks like the comments are dragging. That's weird. I don't see. Oh, there they go. There's Bill Stanley.
What's up, Bill? Dollar Bill in the house.
Yeah. Awesome. Anyway, we're going to talk about a bunch of that stuff. We're going to do some shark shout outs right out of the gate. And grab a cool drink, sit back, relax. I'm going to cue up the intro and we'll see you back here in just a minute. Let me find the intro. There it is.
It's now time. The moment you've been waiting for. Get ready for the fastest 60 minutes of marketing strategies and tactics to build your remote empire from anywhere in the world. After 167 agonizing hours, they've finally returned. From the sun-soaked Sin City and the sandy shores of Maui, Hawaii, now back for a brand new Aloha Marketing Jam session. It's your hosts, the Offline Sharks and Remote Millionaires, Tom Gaddis and Nick Ponte.
Yes. Oh, listen up. Pause. Hear that? I can hear it. Oh, yeah, there they are. I hear them. Oh, there they are. I hear them.
Yeah, your audio was messing up for a second there.
Mine?
Yeah. Everybody's. I think StreamYard's being a little weird right now.
Yeah, actually. StreamYard's having some issues.
Yeah.
It is, because even the comments
you guys
were like
have so much content, I can't keep up. Hey, we are omnipresent. We do everything. We're everywhere. The content is golden.
I say, how do you think we feel? We have to come up with it.
Hey, Marvin, Rick, Elaine, you guys. So we were talking about this the other day. 2 days ago. I pulled up my QuickBooks account. I very rarely. I don't know how you feel about this, Joe, but like, I very rarely really dig into the financials of my agency because I don't know. I don't really I like it to be a surprise, you know. I mean, we outsource a lot. We have systems, we have processes. So like, I'm not that involved in it, you know, like as a CEO of my agency, I come in Slack, I check on things. I might take a call here and there. I might jump into the project management and like, you know, give feedback, but like, I'm not really closing deals. I'm not setting up the fulfillment. I'm not doing that. So like when I go and look at the financials, which I did this morning because I had to send some out, I was like, whoa. We're doing pretty good. I like it that way. I like it to be a surprise. So we're at like 4. I'll just share this. Why not? Pulled this up because we talked about this yesterday about the margin, right? Check this out.
Oh, I see. You're talking about, because a lot of times people want to know about, like, when we say we outsource, the question we always get is, but yeah, what's your margin? Like, people suspect that we're somehow fudging that we're making a profit or something because we outsource and that it's not possible.
Yeah. Well, look at this. We're at $398,000 for the year, September 16th today. We've paid our contractors $76,000. You know, there's software and tools. We spent about 14 grand in software and tools, but you know, 70% margin. That's pretty awesome. You know, like not a lot of businesses can pull off that kind of margin, but all of you that are digital marketers, you can pull off those kinds of margins. You know, I mean, Tom, a 70% margin.
That's knocking it out of the park in any other business.
Other
like,
business.
Like literally, like, I mean, a lot of businesses are happy with, I mean, they think 30% is crushing it, right? If you can have a 30% margin, you're crushing it. Like, so yeah, pretty good. Pretty darn good there, Nicholas.
Hey, my doorbell's ringing. I'll be right back.
I hear that. Hey, while you had to answer the door, I will, Joe and I will go through some shark shout outs. We want to get those out of the way because we want to take your questions. We want to talk local marketing. So let's see. I'm going to pull up my screen here. Let me make sure I'm on the right one. Here we go. So Joe, at the start of every Shark Live show, we like to celebrate the wins that people share in our community, right? And so we've got a couple of things that we like people to do. Number one, if you are on here right now, you can go to this link and you'll find the post. The post is always at this link. If you leave a good job, a way to go, a congratulations comment at the end of the show, we're going to pull out some random people from those comments and give them some cash. That's right, cold hard cash. So you can go there. All right, so here is, I'm going to share my screen now. All right, here's the shark shout outs. We're going to start off with Darren. Darren built a e-commerce site for a bakery. It's a site for a custom home builder and finished up a site for a heavy haul transportation company. $5,500 combined. That's pretty good. He's creating a digital 3D rendering and marketing project. He got a $500 deposit for that. He closed on building a course for a horse trainer. $5,800 for course creation plus $3,000 annually for high-level software access. That is a great week, Darren. $14,800. Take the weekend off, man. Enjoy your Saturday and Sunday. I think you deserved it. And that's really great. The horse trainer thing, that is interesting to me. That's a niche I never would have thought to target, right? Like, I love seeing the different kinds of clients people get on the live show, Joe, because like, you know how it is. Because you do a lot of courses and products and coaching and training, and it's like people always want to know, like, what's the best niche, what's the best service, and like on this live show every week, people are like closing all kinds of services. They're working with all kinds of different clients. Like, you just really get a feel for that. The opportunity is there. You just gotta, take a little bit of action and go out and get it. So, congratulations, Darren. That's awesome.
I love that. And then the services too, a 3D rendering. I wouldn't
even know how to do that. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome. Nice job, Darren.
Yeah, great work. Jill Ashton from across the pond sold 2 websites this week. A home services for 599 pounds, which, by the way, Joe, is about what I bench press.
Yeah.
So, And then 650 pounds for another one. So a combined total of $1,460 US dollars. So that's awesome, Jill. Congratulations. And we're very sad to hear about the Queen and everything over there. So awesome work. Our next shout out goes to Gaetano. Gaetano reported a win for a Facebook page setup, claiming a Google business profile, 1 to 3 sites for leads, lead connector, photo optimization, 6 months recurring with the $450 up front. So $2,700 total there. That's awesome, Gaetano. Way to go. Storm and Norman, new SEO deal, $1,248 Canadian, 950 American. So way to go, Norm. Both of those guys are Remote Millionaires members, by the way. They're just crushing it over there. Scott Meisner, also a Remote Millionaires member, $944 marketing package for Facebook ads, social posting, and Google Business Profile. $1,890 for website plus hosting. $4,500 in revenue for a solo postcard mailing. And then get this, $16,885 in counting in revenue. He's done 11 times 14 postcard ad sales. So he does a big kind of like postcard like I do, Joe. And so that's his ad sales, $16,885 for that. And then he sold an SEO audit for $295. And I mean, a total of $24,514, which is awesome. Scott has like 27 kids, so You know, he's probably taking them all. Awesome. No, it has a lot. I got to meet Scott in Maui. Him and his wife come there to get away from the kids every year. And a super nice guy, really, really on it. But what's interesting about what he has here is Scott was strictly doing the direct mail thing. Like he was all in on the postcards, sending them out, doing about 18. I think he did 18 of them last year, like just cranking those babies out. And when he joined Remote Millionaires, his whole goal was to add in digital services. But, you know, he's a high school teacher. You know, he's doing this on the side. He's got the family. Like he didn't want to spend a lot of time doing all that stuff. So
he's a full-time teacher.
Yeah, full-time teacher, part-time marketer, right? But he's looking now to transition out, which is the change. Anyway,
incredible stuff. That guy has so many kids. He's a full-time teacher too.
Services. What's that?
I was just saying, like his work ethic, having that many kids, that big of a family, and being a full-time teacher and doing $24,000. I mean, that was just, I don't know if that's collectively for like the last couple of weeks. It probably is, but still, damn, you know, that's huge.
Yeah. I know, it's great. It's awesome to see. Clint Whitney, sorry guys, I keep getting a message here. Closed a recurring 12-month PR package at $529 a month, $6,348 total. We've got Yella picked up an e-commerce client, 1,500 euros for a 2-product store setup plus €100 retainer and 10% of his net profit from the store. So a $1,600 deal with a little bit of skin in the game. Dan Lesser, also from across the pond, sold a 1,000-pound website. That's what Nick benches, 1,000 pounds. That's it. Plus 500 pound a month with Google AdWords. So $1,720 US. So excellent job there. And then we got Jack Thomas made his very first sale for his agency. That is a big deal. I want to stop for a minute. Let's just take a minute and enjoy that. Jack made his first sale. Jack, that is awesome. SEO package for a website, Facebook ads, social media content, and social covers, $1,534. That's a pretty good first sale. Way to go, Jack.
Massive first sale. I mean, that's
huge.
My first sale was $500. So big things for Jack on the horizon.
Yeah. Dorn, Megalodon Dorn, sold 7 ebooks and a website to a solar company for it's because we're just talking about solar companies, right? Weren't we talking about that last week on the live show? Then he went out and sold a website to one, $1,250, and he'll be utilizing the Home Services jackpot theme for the build. So
7 ebooks, Dorn? I think he's being.
Sure. Tell me more.
I think he's joshing.
He always mentions that he sold 1 or 2 ebooks. I don't know what the
joshing.
How come we don't have the ebook?
Because he doesn't sell any.
He better.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mr. Marvin Drobes closed a client on creation of a funnel to help sell his products, $799. I don't know who was on the hot seat that Marvin just did in our Shark Alliance. Do you guys know we have a monthly membership called the Shark Alliance, and they do a training call every week, and sometimes we do a hot seat 1 week out of the month, and they had Marvin on there. I saw the comments in the Facebook group, and people were like, "This was great! One of the best trainings I've ever been on." Like, people loved it. So if you're in the Shark Alliance and you haven't watched that, you should go back and watch it. And then our fearless leader, Nick Ponte, $1,000 SEO campaign closed from a cold call, $1,000.
That was Megan.
That's pretty good.
Megan made that cold call though. That wasn't me. I just took the screenshot and put it there.
Good job, Nick. Good job.
Yeah.
So for those of you, and then Taylor Stillman, a website refresh, $1,200. Google Business Profile Optimization, $750, and Quick Start SEO Program, $1,400, 90 days with monthly LP blog content creation package on the table. He sold 2 V cards, $150 each. That's funny. We were just kind of talking about those yesterday. 5 new networking group member signups, $300 each. So Taylor's been going to BNI. I think it's BNI. And then a couple of other deals are still on the table for prices to be agreed on, and 4 appointments for next week. $3,650.
Damn. Man, he's getting some traction. Taylor, you're crushing it.
Did I know it? I had a call with Taylor like about a month ago, and I was like, man, this guy's going to kill it. Like, he's going to kill it. So good to see you actually doing it, Taylor. So for those of you that are counting at home, that brings our combined total for the week of September 10th to September 16th to $62,352. Our grand total since the start of 2022, our members have collected $1,125,929 off the strategies, techniques, and things we teach, like the things we're going to be talking about on this live show. It's interesting because we had Desiree was on here. Remember, Nick, and was like, I've never even bought one of your courses, but I've made money from everything you share in the Facebook group and on the Facebook Live. That's great. Okay, that's it. Nick, what was at the door?
The electrician.
Oh, man.
Do I hear him? I hear him in the background.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, that's our shout outs. That's the shout outs. That was awesome. I don't know. Do we have a member of the week this week?
Yeah, I may have to mute periodically just because there's somebody downstairs drilling through some walls trying to build this rental.
Okay. Well, look, I want to get to the questions and I don't want us to get interrupted. So let me do the member of the week and then you guys can take it from there. So, member of the week, we send out a Shark Swag treasure chest. No one knows what's in it, but the people who get it. You could get one too if you're a good steward of our community. You're in the Facebook group posting, answering questions. Our member of the week this week is actually we have two members of the week this week. Check it out. Darren and Jack, both members of the week. Darren started with the Path to Six Figures, which is in the Shark Alliance, the less expensive version, right? Just the Shark Alliance Plus, which I think is like $47 a month. He started with the Path to Six Figures, took action, and reported some wins he had in the first 2 months. Amazing. Just sitting there for anybody to go do, right? Anybody to go do. And while Jack set in motion to get his agency off the ground in July, shared with the community what actions he's been taking to move the needle in his business and to remain accountable. He went to his first BNI meeting earlier this month, connected with the business owner, and now has reported his first win. That's awesome. And then, so congratulations to both these guys, Darren and Jack. Somebody from our team is going to be reaching out. If you can let them know congratulations in the stream here as well, we would appreciate it. Oh, I'm winded. Okay. All right. You guys take over.
Somebody said that I should offer the electrician a service. And it's funny you said that because as soon as he came over, not today, but the first time he came over, I looked him up. You know, that's what I always do. Like, you should all do this. Any businesses that you frequent, you know, one-off services that you buy from people, your landscaper, you know, your barber, your pet groomer, look them up. Like, these are the closest, easiest sales to you because they already know who you are. You already have a relationship with them, right? So I looked this guy up. His website was awful. But the thing about him is that, like a lot of home service businesses, Joe, you know about this right now because you're doing a remodel. He's busy as hell. He doesn't really care. Like, he can't take on any more work. So he's like, he's all right with his, you know, website that looks like trash. And I was like, all right, man, well, whenever you want to like step it up and have it look a little polished, you know, we could help you with that. And then, you know, maybe help you field your leads a little bit so you get higher quality leads rather than just tons of, you know, mediocre ones.
How would you get leads for an electrician, Joe?
Is that an underhand right there? Was that a softball, Tom? Was that a...
I mean, no, it just popped into my head. I was like, oh, you're talking about like, how would you get leads for an electrician?
So I don't know. Like, I'm a Google guy. You guys know that, right? So right is the easy thing, right? And then once it's running, you know, it's so funny. Like, this used to be commonplace, but I think it's like people don't talk about it anymore. Like, once you find out what works, then you got to apply it to local, right? Like, you got to apply it to search. And like the home runs that they can get from that is just crazy. If they just pay to find out what works with PPC and apply it to SEO, I mean, it's game over. Add another zero or two to their business. I mean,
yeah, I know what we said we're going to talk about fulfillment, and I want to get that in a minute. But again, I'm going to ask again, who was on the trainings? Either one of the trainings that we did Wednesday and Thursday. I couldn't see in the beginning. I think my thing was messed up. Maybe you can let me know, because Joe came on and Rob came on. They did an amazing training and demo of a software they have that helps you find pretty much the ideal clients for PPC and ones you can help and all that stuff. One thing when we were going through the demo, though, that we didn't really talk about on the webinar, but I wanted to just get your take on it, is because there's some different things that you can do in PPC, right? There's the regular ads, and then there's like local service ads, right? And are local service ads and Google guarantee, is that the same thing?
Same thing. Yep.
Same thing. Okay. So have you seen like one or the other doing better, or?
So we've seen that a lot of times the problems with local service ads, a lot of time they're like web form leads and not just phone calls. We found that sometimes that's a problem for our customers or our prospects, right? Like they're good at one thing typically. If you're talking with like a service business, usually it's like they figured out how to answer the phone and answer it pretty well.
Yeah.
Given them web form leads to figure out how to handle and call back and get in touch with in a timely manner, typically doesn't work very well. So like, and you really need somebody just managing LSA or local service ads if you're going to do it. And usually they don't have somebody in-house to actually do that. So I think it's great. But I think for a lot of businesses, it's not in like the form that it's very useful, right? So I think for a lot of businesses, Google Ads makes more sense. But once you get Google Ads going and you're at peak or you're at capacity, or let's say you're mostly there, you're getting kind of as much as you can get. Layering on then LSA can be really great and a way to break through kind of that next plateau.
That's a good tip. And I know people sometimes get a little, like worried about, when you start talking about PPC, obviously, like, we just put out a course, PPC Maverick, where we do training, we can learn how to do PPC, all the fundamentals, all that stuff. When you're working with local businesses and stuff, it's not as like I wouldn't recommend somebody get into PPC and like try to go into the make money online niche. Like that's a hard niche to break into. But when you're talking about running ads for like the plumber, the electrician, the local businesses, some of those people, it's not quite as complicated and as scary as a lot of people make it out to be, right? Like, you can usually get pretty good traction spending not a lot of money. You really don't run a chance of like all of a sudden waking up and you're going to have some huge Google bill or anything like that. It just doesn't really happen that much. But maybe we can talk a little bit about, I don't know. Do you want to, I don't know. Do you have the software? Do you want to show people like what the tool does to kind of like, cause I know there are two questions that people ask a lot about that is like, one, how can you see what other people are doing? Right. Like, and help there. And then another one would be like, can you use the tool to like identify the keywords you should be bidding on?
Yeah.
Well, we did a pretty good software demo on the webinar too.
I know. Yeah. Well, you got to go watch that to see all that stuff. But
yeah,
I think showing them one thing will be good.
You want to talk about fulfillment first? Or you want to show them the demo first? Tell me what to do. I'm all good to go.
I'll let you go, Nick. You decide.
Whatever you're ready for. If you have the software pulled up, then we can do that. If you don't have it ready to go, then
I got it pulled up.
Okay, cool.
Easy peasy. So, so with PPC Ad Lab, the really cool thing that we do that we find has the biggest hit, most agencies, most marketers love the most, is using it for prospecting, right? So we're able to build a list of prospects to go after, and they're all running Google Ads. That's where we pull them from. That's how we find them. And we built this to scratch our own itch, right? So kind of throwing ourselves under the bus, but we came out with a course and we added, as a bonus, we'll find a list of all types of dentists across the United States that are running ads on Google. We'll include a list of them for you to prospect to. And we ate it. We tried like everything to build a list of people running ads on Google. We went and we used all these different tools. We built teams of VAs to go get it. We tried SEMrush and SpyFu, and like there was no real solution. And we like literally had to apologize, like, sorry, we can't offer this bonus. It doesn't exist. Oops. So the first thing it does is helps you collect that list, right? So if you look in like any of the other competitor tools, you'll find 3 or 4 advertisers for like the search term Tampa plumber. Well, we know that there's a lot more than 3 or 4 bidding, right? And when we ran the tool for 2 days, we found 48. So what's cool, I think, is being able to build a list, but then we're able to send highly targeted outreach to them, talking about what's happening in the marketplace. So we can say, hey, we see all that your competitor, or these are the top 10 competitors in the market. Would you like to see all their ads? right? Your competitor is running this type of ad. Maybe you should consider changing up your ad. And so we're able to see data that like they've never seen before. And
which, by the way, if you're doing fulfillment, that would be some handy information to know, right?
Very
like if you're
handy.
a client and you're doing fulfillment, like to be able to look at the other people's ads would be great.
Dude, it's taken us that takes so much time to actually come up with a winning offer, especially if you're in a crowded and competitive market. You know, sometimes you have to get very creative too. Like you can't just go to Google and type it in. You know, there's a lot of stuff out there that you may not even know you're competing with. Like I said this before, like on Groupon, for example, you know, we've had people that we've run ads before, which we thought had a good offer in the actual ad, but nobody came after it, you know. And then we finally, after spending so much time digging, figured out that like Groupon had like an offer for 50% less, and they were just getting huge response of people taking that. So we had to compete with that offer. And once we did that, then we started getting all the sales and leads coming in. So that's a really good point. Like up until this point, finding out like the technical information, the competitor analysis in the way that you guys have it was just, I mean, the technology was just non-existent, you know? And I think the premise of all of this is like, if you run Google ads or you want to run Google ads, you know that the easiest customers to bring in are the ones that are already or have spent money on advertising before. And I know I'm not alone when I say that, like, I've always been like, how do I just find all those businesses that are already running ads that I can reach out to and be like, hey, your ads aren't doing well? Because that's like the easiest hook to get your foot in the door. And up until now, it's, you know, it's been very difficult.
So you hit on something earlier, and it goes back to fulfillment, but that competitive intelligence piece, like knowing who your competitors are. So you want to know like the top things that you can do to get your customer the best result with Google Ads. They're not actually clicking buttons inside the Google Ads interface. It's looking at who the competitors are, what their offers are, what are the ads, what do their landing pages look like, and modeling the best ones, right? And we talk about that like in the industry, like, you know, funnel hack people and model other people. But like when you look at Google Ads, people don't do that. So like people build brand new accounts. Get this, it blows my mind. People build out new accounts, build new ad copy, build landing pages, and they don't even look at what's happening in the market right now and how they compete against that. Like you shouldn't even be running traffic. Like why would you turn that campaign on if you didn't even know what was happening in the marketplace?
Shot in the dark.
Yeah.
Hey, this is kind of a left turn real quick though, but this is a selfish question. Out of all of the millions of dollars of spend and all the crazy analytics and metrics that you've seen, because I know you've seen a lot, what is like the most, what is the industry that you've seen that Google Ads works the best for? You know, in get not like to bring in as clients, but like, you know, let's say if I run a campaign for a dentist, you know,
sure.
do Google Ads work the best for them? You know what I mean?
I think it's easiest to see in like service-based businesses and B2C niches. So like, and the reason is like the sales cycle's fast. So there's no wondering like, is it gonna pan out? So like I've tried to help like colleagues or friends before, people that got referred to me, let's say like personal injury attorneys. So like, here's the math on a personal injury attorney. They might get 200 leads, right? One might pan out that then they make millions of dollars from. So like for them, they're constantly asking themselves in any marketing that they do, is this lead acquisition channel good? And will I be able to pull a rabbit out of a hat at the end? I don't like doing business in those niches. It's too, I have to resell the prospect every week when they're panicking, right? I'm not interested. So I like, you know, dentists are great, for example, because like it's a B2C niche, right? People are calling the dentist, they got a problem. What do you think the problem is? Like 80% of the time, somebody calls the dentist, they're in tooth pain, right? They need an answer now. Helping a dentist be able to convert that and convert really high those leads into, you know, butts in the seats is very easy. So I like those, you know, fast transaction things. Those are my favorite because we can iterate very quickly and make corrections very quickly.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, sometimes we take on clients where, I mean, we we take them on full well knowing that like this could be one of those situations, right? Like the personal injury. We'll take on personal injury. We'll get a bunch of leads. Sometimes they, won't pan out and then they'll stop. Sometimes they will. And those ones that do have the high profit margins, when they do pan out, those people almost never leave.
Yeah, 100%. You just know you're kind of playing with fire. It's a risk.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. And if you're upfront with that, it's okay. Like if you tell them that, you set their expectation in that like, hey, we're going to, do this and we're not sure how it's going to pan out. But like if only one of them hits, obviously it's going to work. Then nobody's gonna be upset, but if you sell it on like the premise of like, hey, we're going to guarantee this, like you're setting yourself up for trouble.
Sure. Another one, I was just looking on AdLab. I don't know. Can everybody see my screen?
Here, let me, boom.
There we go. So that's a secret huge money niche, by the way. This epoxy flooring, right?
I just did that in my garage manually.
Yeah. So most people aren't Nick, right? They outsource it, right? They don't do it themselves. And if you think about like costs are really low, and it's crazy what they sell these things for, right? Like their cost got to be less than 10%, right? And then they got labor and they're there for the day, right? Or half a day. And they'll charge anywhere from, $2,500 to $3,500. I mean, it's nutso. You can do the math. It's very easy to make any type of paid media work.
Wow, that's a good niche. Appreciate you. Hey, give Joe a shout out in the chat for sharing that niche. Like that one's a good one. Another one that I've recently seen is window tinting or car vinyl wrapping. These new little, I don't know. People are looking for these things, because paint wears, on your car. That goes bad over time. And vinyl is a new trend. And anytime you can get in front of a trend, then, that's how you make the big bucks, And has anybody seen these vinyl wrapped cars? Like it looks like paint. It looks like paint.
It's such a good niche, right? The window tinting leads into a lot of vinyl customers too. So the problem with window tinting is like just the average customer is a lot, like value is a lot less, right? But if they can upsell some of those, even a fraction of those, right? 1 in 10 into doing vinyl wraps for a couple grand, right? They just freaking murder it. They do really, really well.
Nice. Good
Can
stuff.
we jump in here and talk about the competitive analysis? So
yeah.
This is an epoxy flooring report. We ran this. So the keyword phrase is epoxy flooring in Charleston. So what I want you guys to know is like, basically it's just like if you opened up your browser and you were located in Charleston and you did the search for epoxy flooring. Basically, we went and ran this dozens of times at different intervals, and we can control this inside of PPC AdLab. Okay, so Google sees our location as Charleston. So this is telling us what's happening in the Charleston market. And Alan says, I love Charleston. Me too, one of my favorite cities. So check this out, right? Epoxy flooring, 63 epoxy flooring competitors. I would never have guessed that. I would have probably guessed like maybe 12, right? Like 63? Are you kidding? I'm banned from Charleston. I love that Dorn. Then how often are ad extensions showing up? And ad extensions are, and phone extensions are things that you can add to your listing. This will help you understand like how sophisticated the marketplace is. You should be doing these things, right? Anything that you can add to your listing to make it stand out, right? To draw extra attention to it is great. So like 69%, 37%. And then you can go over to like advertisers tab, and this is a list of all the advertisers, right? And it makes sense. A flooring company, Angie's List, a bamboo company, something, the car guys. And right here with one click or in bulk, check this out. We got an email, right, of a prospect, right, from that's bidding on that keyword phrase. So right here with one click, I can grab their email. So we'll talk about more for prospecting in a second. We'll just talk about the competitive intelligence for a little bit. These are all the top seen ads that we've seen across the market. So this is number one. We saw this one come up for the keyword flooring in the city of Charleston, South Carolina. we were doing the search in Eastern time zone, and we found them on average at position 2, and we found them 67 times their ad showing up. And then these are all the other top ads. These are the site extensions, by the way. So you know what they look like inside the platform. But if you're gonna, again, going back to like create an offer for your client, right? And you're gonna write an ad, let's look at what the top seen advertisers and the guys that are most competitive that have been doing this, what are they advertising and what are we up against? So super interesting. Then we go in and we show like LSA ads and map ads, and there's more supplemental data. But the cool thing is like this data isn't really available, right? Like the only other place that you can get it is the places we call our ancestors, right? SpyFu, iSpionage, tools like that, SEMrush, and like they literally find 10% or less of the data that we find. So just a super cool tool to use and to have in your back pocket, to use in your prospecting, to use in your sales, to use in your competitive intelligence.
Imagine trying to create a Google ad campaign for your customer and not having this tool. Like
crazy.
I mean, if you're going to try to, like, it's in terms of advertising, it's all about your competitors, right? There's only so many spots on Google for these ads to show up. And if you have, a tree trimming service and, you're running an ad because you didn't have this information, and for your customer, they think a good offer is $300 for tree trimming service. But unbeknownst to you, their competitor is running $100 offer for tree trimming service. Your ad's never going to win. Like, it's never going to win, hands down. So imagine trying to set up an ad campaign without having this type of data. Not saying it doesn't work. I've done it. We've done it. But like, this is like super secret squirrel stuff. Start at the top. Figure out what's working and then beat that offer. Just beat that offer.
Yep, 100%. I love that comment. Thanks, Rick. Yeah, definitely only scratching the surface. Let's talk about prospecting really fast, right? So I think number one use case that our people love the most is definitely prospecting. So I'm going to take you through like 3 screens, might take 2 or 3 minutes, and I'll show you how easy this is. Let's say that we talked about Tampa Plumber. It's an example that I give all the time. So let's say I'm going to just create a job, and a job is just a new search. So we're just going to call it Tampa Plumber. I always like just running one keyword if I'm doing prospecting. I don't think anything else is needed. And the more search terms you put, the more times you have it searched, the more credits it uses. As a user of PPC Ad Lab myself, I want to get the most bang for my buck. This is the way to do it. So Tampa Plumber, and then I'm going to put in that I want this to run in Tampa, Florida. And we have all kinds of locations. I'm going to have it run at the airport. Actually, let's do the city instead. But there's like literally any location that you could possibly think of is in here. And the job's going to start running right now. Okay. And it's going to find me these advertisers. These are my prospects. I showed you guys earlier how the system will, like, quite literally in a couple of clicks, grab all of the prospects' contact information as well. And then we can start automatically actually outreaching to them. And we can attach this once we have it set up to the job that we just ran. So we can say every time we find a new advertiser, automatically send out this email. So it's really simple to add an email account, right? Most of you guys, I don't know, Tom and Nick, if you look at all the attendees' email addresses, what percentage of them use Gmail?
Oh man, probably the majority, right?
So like the easiest thing, if you don't have, an SMT with SMTP with Amazon SES or SendGrid or any other, just plug in your Gmail account, right? Easy way to get started, and just get started slow, ramp it up over time. But like quite literally, you click this, right? You put in your username, you put in your email, you put in your password. That's it. Okay, so once you have this set up, then we can go into emails. And we have a bunch of templates already built out for you guys with proven marketing angles, right? Like you're bidding on this keyword and there's a lot of competition. Would you like some suggestions of 3 or 4 other keyword phrases that would have less competition for you? right? Or, hey, we found you advertising for this keyword phrase. We also saw 24 other competitors bidding on this keyword. Would you like a list of all of their ads? Do you guys think like somebody would be interested in that? Where's my camera?
Yeah.
You can see it.
I would say so. I mean, and plus too, like, I mean, you're talking about this in terms of getting clients, but again, all information that's extremely powerful to have on the fulfillment side too, right?
Yeah.
Like literally you can just go, I mean, really, really powerful stuff. That's awesome.
Hey,
I don't,
I have a quick question too. Like, so in that email there with that template, I noticed you have some like brackets there. Are those like magic tags, like kind of like populated with the data and the company name and all that stuff? So you don't even have to go in there. It's like,
Yep. It's all dynamically personalized with custom values or merge fields, you'd call them, right? And anything that we gather on an advertiser, all of their ads, everybody's ads that we find, their name, their website, it's all available quite literally as a custom value.
wow.
Right. So we can say, you know, we saw 34 ads for the search term Tampa plumber, right? Would you like me to send a copy? Right. This one's one of my favorites, right? Are you aware that 3 competitors are showing Google ads on your branded search term on the name of your company? Right? Like, how are you not going to get a response from that? And by the way, this works for companies of all sizes. It also works for franchises really well, right? They want to know across the entire United States when people are bidding on their brands that is not their individual franchisees. We have a client, an enterprise size client, a franchise, paying us $2,500 a month to do just this one thing, brand monitoring, to make sure across the United States and the locations that they've given us, right, make sure that nobody's bidding on their brand. So there's a bunch of more angles in here, all really, really smart, value-added stuff. And I think the takeaway is like, again, nobody has this data. So reaching out to a Tampa plumber and saying, hey, check this out. They've never seen this before. It's a pitch they've never heard, right? They're not getting hit up every single day with a similar marketing message. And it's just a value-added foot in the door. So it works really well. So once you write a couple of these, or let's say you could take like just 3 different angles that you like, too much competition, has your agency told you, and you rank this place in the marketplace, you could grab 3 of those and just put them together in a campaign. So you could say like, I want to send this email, pick your template, say I want to send it right away. And then 3 days later, right, I want to send this other template, and like literally point and click, you set up a campaign then. And then all that we got to do is go back to where we ran the job, right? And we can edit the job and quite literally attach, right, that prospecting campaign to that outbound campaign. So quite literally, as soon as we find prospects, you're doing outreach to your ideal prospect with a value-added message. So we got clients. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just typing it in Slack. I'm like, oh my God, we need to be doing this. We need to be doing more of this. I hope everybody else is doing it. Can we check in with everybody real quick? What does everybody think about this? Is it kind of mind blowing to see an actual prospecting method like this, a tool like this that can be automated in this way? Because I mean, if you can send X amount of emails with this type of data, it's going to turn into clients, especially if you're looking to do Google ads. So yeah.
And by the way, if you guys haven't watched the replay, you should go there and watch it, because not only does Rob go through this in detail and show you several things, but he also shows you a way to use the tool that you can charge clients for a service. It could be a foot in the door service that you can charge very little for. And the software actually does all the fulfillment of that service for you. So it's like, it's really amazing. We're not going to get into that because you need to go watch the training for that. But yeah, I see people chomping at the bit about fulfillment. So Joe, maybe you can tell people a little bit about your background in the pay-per-click fulfillment arena.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So November of last year, Rob Warner and I sold Invisible PPC. We exited. That was the goal. Rob's the original founder. I came in later, lots of background in SEO and Google organic and also running paid traffic. We teamed up together. We scaled Invisible PPC. We kind of hit the goals that we were looking to hit. And then ultimately we exited. At our height, we were bringing on, check this out, we were bringing on over 100 new agency clients, right, for Google ads to run their Google ads every month. So yeah, it's safe to say that we know a thing or two about fulfillment.
Well, the other metric that I thought was so impressive was how many incoming phone leads were you guys getting?
Over 7,000
a month. 7,000 phone leads a month for your customers. That's crazy. That's crazy.
So I think one of the crazy things about doing all of that is just being able to learn and being, I guess, doing it from our point of view was interesting because we were doing it white label, right? So we're doing the fulfillment, we're working with an agency, they are having the relationship with the client. We're able to see like a lot of stuff. Like I could tell you some of the most crazy stories you have ever heard. Good, bad, ugly, indifferent, all of it. So that perspective was really interesting. And should we talk about the bonus or should we talk about fulfillment a little bit more? Where do you guys want to take?
Let's talk about the fulfillment and then we can.
Yeah. And the bonus is kind of tied to that. So we can segue into that. Right.
Yeah. I mean, because that is one of the most difficult parts, you know, like obviously everybody that's in PPC Maverick, like you know how to run ads. Like you've got the information, you've got access to that specific information. You know, and that's like for your first few clients, by all means, it's good to follow that information, get it set up, get familiar with the lingo so that you can prospect and you can talk to people, you can know what you're talking about. But there is another level, you know, there is another layer. And you know, that layer to the fulfillment is like not having to run the ads yourself, you know? So yeah, go ahead, Joel, and over to you.
I think no matter what, like at the end of the day, like as an agency, as a marketer, as a freelancer, whatever like title you want to put on yourself, right? That at the end of the day, like businesses are paying us for skill sets that they don't have, right? Like that's, I think is the easiest way to put it. And I think at the end of the day, you know, I think Google ads and PPC, obviously I'm biased, but I think it's like one of the biggest skills that you could possibly learn. That doesn't mean you need to be doing all of the fulfillment. Learn the basics, right? Go through PPC Maverick, learn the basics, you know, onboard a couple of accounts, sell a couple of accounts, understand how the system works, and then by all means outsource. But it would be very, very advantageous for you guys to understand the basics, and it wouldn't take that long to really understand the basics.
Yeah, and then you know there are. Well, let's ask everybody. Would anybody interested in like learning more on how to outsource or get some sort of fulfillment for your ad campaigns? If we get well, I won't say that, but let us know in the chat if that's something you'd be interested in. Maybe at some point, maybe not right now, maybe at some point in your career, or you're thinking about that. You already have a couple clients, and you're like, you know, I'm probably ready to get some sort of help in that fulfillment. Because if any of you, and you know, I see some of that coming in the chat, lots of yeses, exciting, interested. If you are interested in that, that's actually one of the bonuses that we dropped on the webinar yesterday. So yeah, I mean, probably now, Tom, would be a good time to give them a link for that replay. Don't like pull it up right now because we're going to close out here in about 5 minutes. But if you go to offlinesharks.com/add clients replay, link that you see on your screen, you're going to get a full-on training of like how to use this tool to find prospects and just a lot of good base level PPC training. And on top of that, we offered a special bonus of white label fulfillment and how to get your ads campaign set up and run by other people. More information on that bonus on that training, but if that is something you're interested in, I would go check that out. There's going to be more info there, and we're going to run this webinar for a couple of days. And then, I mean, Joe and Rob made a special offer. It has never, ever been made before, right? Just want to make sure.
Not even internally, not even to our best customers.
Yeah. And this tool, like they've only offered it to their community before, right? So this is kind of like the unveiling of it to a broader audience with us. And so, they decided, I mean, well, we as a collective were able to kind of rope them into giving us a special offer for everybody here. So you'll definitely want to
bonus that I think is really cool too.
Sure.
So Nick touched on that. We're going to help you guys, outsource. And we talked about, white label fulfillment. Rob and I, know from our background who the players are in the space, who can help you out. And we've offered up that in the past. But I think that like Nick, by working with you and Tom on this bonus, I think we were able to really take it to the next level because of like our background together. And like just being brutally honest, like you worked with Invisible for a long time. You had great experiences. I'm sure you had poor experiences. You had in-between experiences. And we want to share with you guys like the good, the bad, and the ugly about white label and give you resources for white label, but also we want to share with you Nick's model, right? How he's brought somebody, I would say like in-house. I don't think he actually works in your office, right? But actually brought on somebody to help you do the fulfillment for all your PPC clients. I think like it really makes the whole package complete.
Yeah, I agree. Because like I said earlier, there are levels to this service. In the beginning, you may want to set up some campaigns for yourself. Tom and I, shortly thereafter, doing that ourselves, we were looking for some help. There's a deer right outside of my yard right there. It's crazy. We were looking for some help to do that fulfillment for us. And I think white label took us for years of being able to hand off clients and not have to worry about it. And we made a lot of money doing that too. But then the next level too was like, well, we had a lot of clients coming in and, where do we go from there? How do we, things would slip through the cracks, some things would get lost in translation because, if we're outsourcing the work and we have to go from client, the information has to pass through from the client to us and then to white label. So there's an extra step there. And sometimes, I mean, that's the biggest problem. Things can get lost in translation and slip through the cracks because your project manager or you is going to be like in between that, rather than having somebody in-house on your team communicating directly on your behalf with people. That's the step that you get to skip. However, there is a time and a place for both. Like white label fulfillment will get you far, especially if you have the Rolodex that Joe and Rob have from, being in the business for years, knowing what all the top companies are that do white label, having shown them how to do a lot of it themselves. Those white label companies are massive because what you don't want to do, I promise you this, you do not want to bring in a client and try to offer Google Ads management, outsource the work to a white label company that does not do a good job. That is going to put you in a terrible spot. You don't want to be that person that like doesn't know what's going on. You can't explain, your client's losing money and they're calling you and asking why. So you want to make sure if you are doing white label, you're going to the right place, which is why, the bonus we have on there at that link on the replay is so powerful. And, if you want to jump right into having somebody in-house, well, we got a little bonus that Tom and I are putting together where we're showing you how we've done that as well. So that's going to be added for all of you if you go check that replay out.
Love it. Good stuff.
I'm muted. Head over to offlinesharks.com/add clients replay, and you can see it right now. Awesome. What else do we have to do? Oh, we have one more thing to do.
Give away some money.
That's right. We have to give away some money. Hold on. Let's give away some money. Hold on. Here we go. We got to get primed for this. All right. Everybody stretch. I don't want anybody to pull a hammy while we're doing this. Here we go.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money.
Dollar. Ching, bling, bling, cut the chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, now we're cooking. Now
All right,
we're cooking, Nick.
We got two winners that helped congratulate all of our shout outs today that we picked at random. So if you are on this stream for the first time, next week, same time, same place, we're going to have a stream. We're going to congratulate people. We pick anybody that has congratulated our shout outs at random, and we give them away. We give away some Cash App money to them at random on all of our streams. So definitely
it's like $25 too, isn't it? It's not like a,
I don't know what it is. It's $25. Yeah. Just for hanging out, just for saying, hey, congrats to people that are in this community crushing it. And so our two winners are Elaine Tanguay and Shoaib Ahmed. We're going to tag you. Congratulations. And thanks for being great members of this community.
Yeah, congratulations. Rob and Joe, we really appreciate you being on here with us today.
Yeah, man, thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, hanging out, taking all the questions, showing all that stuff. And if you guys haven't seen the training, you should go check it out. We're only going to have that up for a few days. This is hands down, if you're doing PPC or going to be doing PPC, hands down the best tool that you'll find to help you with that. Everything involved in that process, right? Everything involved in that process. And the deal that these guys made, like, it's a killer deal because it's, I think if you wanted to get everything that's included in it, right? I think the closest thing is like the $397 a month package. And then the bonuses were like $2,000. I mean, the bonuses are worth like $2,000. And I mean, it's less than $100. So it's a really great deal. So you guys should go check it out. offlinesharks.com/add-clients-replay. If you have any questions, you can ask our support team. Just go to offlinesharks.com/support. Again, offlinesharks.com/add-clients-replay.
See you guys later.
Love smiling Joe.
yeah. Stay safe out there, everybody. Have a great weekend. We will be here next Friday, same shark time, same shark channel. I'm going to queue up the outro, and we'll see you here next week. Aloha, everybody. See you soon.
You've been watching the Aloha Marketing Jam Session, your weekly marketing live show, always bringing you the latest strategies and tactics to build your remote empire from anywhere in the world. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this stream. You can stay up to date throughout the week with the Remote Millionaires Podcast at remotemillionaires.com/podcast and Nick's YouTube videos at nickponte.com/YouTube. We'll be back here next Friday for another live show. Until then, aloha.